Good morning, everyone, and praise be Jesus Christ. Well, this morning was very different for me. While I got to sleep in a little bit, for the first time I said Mass in a locked and empty church. At 7:30, I celebrated the Solemnity of St. Joseph and said Mass. Came back over here to the house, had breakfast. Of course, I had my coffee. And here I am now just giving a little update. Um, Today is a very important day. Today is March 19th. It's the feast of St. Joseph, which is a huge day in the life of the church. It was 150 years ago this year that Pope Pius IX declared Joseph to be the protector, the patron of the universal church. That's important. 150 years ago this year. Today's feast is important too. It gives us two gospels that we can select from. Maybe you read them today in your prayer. The first is the Christmas story and how Joseph's plans were changed when Mary was expecting a child. And that gospel ends with a beautiful verse that Joseph took Mary into his home. We'll get back to that. The second gospel is important too, because we see what happened. We remember when Jesus was 12 years old and Mary and Joseph lost Jesus, and how for 3 days they went looking for him, and finally he was found. That's significant too. Significant for what? Well, it gives us two things for today. Number one, take Mary into your home. You may notice that I'm broadcasting from a little bit of different space. I'm here at St. Patrick's. I'm actually in the rectory. This is the little chapel I have inside the house. And it's here where Father Andres and I come and pray. It's nice sometimes before going to bed just to be able to say a prayer, to come into a space without going over to church, to pray in my sweatpants in the morning, at night, whenever I can. It's a beautiful little space. We have the crucifix. We have my hero, John Paul the Great, behind me. Of course, the tabernacle right here. You remember a few months ago that we were able to pass out into the church various images of the Sacred Heart, the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and I hope you have them in your home. If you don't, I have some in the back of church right now. You're welcome to come on in. It's open every day from 9 to 3. The point is this: make a place, have a place in your home for God, for Mary. A place where you can turn each day with your family or even just by yourself, away from the TV, a sacred place, a designated place. Take Mary into your home, especially in these days. And finally, like Joseph, be on the search for Jesus. For some of you, this is the first time you haven't received communion in a long time. Well, Mary and Joseph knew what that was like. They were looking for Jesus, and you know what? They found him. And today, to have the grace to look and to find Jesus, maybe it's in the yard work, maybe it's in the other person, maybe it's just in a quiet walk. Be looking for Jesus so that he can be found. Finally, Holy Father Pope Francis has asked us today to pray the Rosary. He's going to be praying the Rosary at 9 o'clock tonight, Rome time, which is 4 o'clock here our time in Kennett Square. And so I'll be back on Facebook Live praying the Rosary. I ask you to join me. The Pope would like the whole world today to pray the luminous mysteries of the Rosary. And so we'll do that. And then tomorrow I'll be back with an update, a word of the day, each day. And then finally, just for today, doing what Joseph did, taking Mary into our home, being on the lookout to find Jesus in this time, but most of all, to celebrate this great protector of the church, to invoke his intercession. Let us pray to Joseph today for the sick, those who care for them, and all of those who may be in need. God's mercy on this day. God be with you.